F1 fans. So, 2019 season has started and started off with a banger. It's actually quite a successful race for Australia. Usually the races are very boring. However, there are a few interesting results. So we're going to start off by going through all the drivers on the grid and giving a quick review after the Australian Grand Prix race. So, for many people, one of the biggest prizes was Bottas winning. I watched many YouTube videos where drivers said that out of the top 6 drivers, the top 3 teams, Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, that they thought Hamilton would get a win, that Leclerc, Vettel, Verstappen, but not Bottas and not Gasly. We'll get on to Gasly and his interesting weekend later. But Bottas started off exactly as he needs to carry on. Very assured, confident drive with no mistakes, which is exactly what he needed after his season last year. Coming on to Hamilton, who knows? Would he have been beaten by Bottas and outpaced so much if he didn't have that floor damage? It's a fact that the floor damage was there and was affecting his speed, but was it that much? Or was he just having a bad day? Because we know Hamilton usually starts off the season and he's not very happy with the balance, and it was slower than Bottas at the start of last season, but Bottas failed to capitalise. This race he capitalised. Verstappen. He'll be very happy to get in front of both Ferraris, and it's clear that the Red Bull of Verstappen anyway, is, in my opinion, in the title hunt. For the past couple of seasons, Red Bull have finished the seasons off very strongly, but it's been unfortunate that through the summer they always bring a car which is quite far behind Mercedes and Ferrari, but their development is always so much better, and by the end of the season they're competing for wins at almost every race. So it's very good to see that the Red Bull have started off the season more competitive and already on the podium out of pure pace. There was no, retirements. Both Mercedes and Ferraris finished. They were there on pure pace with Verstappen anyway. So, making a bold prediction, I think Verstappen has a very, very good chance of being world champion this year. If Red Bull can still keep the better, what's the phrase I'm looking for? The better development in comparison to Mercedes and Ferrari, I think Red Bull have a very good chance with Max Verstappen of becoming world champions. But because they are faster, will that development be more slow? Because they've got less to catch up on. And we still need to assess the reliability of the Honda and the speed, and coming in races like China next, like Bahrain and China and Baku with long straights, we'll really see the effectiveness of the Honda. Sebastian Vettel, very disappointing. Let's look at the times there. 57 seconds off Bottas. Wow. It's almost a minute off the leader Mercedes, and arguably Hamilton could have been even further ahead, or at least closer to Bottas without that floor damage. Where did all the pace go from testing? And you could tell it after listening to the press conference on Thursday, the drivers. You could tell with Vettel's demeanour that they knew they had a quick car, and they knew they were quickest, and he was playing it down, but you could tell that he was very confident, and then you could tell he was very shocked after qualifying. He couldn't quite believe it, and even during the race, stating, "Why are we so slow? Where's our pace gone?" It's a bit of a head scratcher. It was also very disappointing that they didn't let Leclerc overtake Vettel. I can see why, I can understand why. But it kind of just ended a disappointing weekend for Ferrari with a bit of a bitter tone. The fact that they were 4th and 5th and not even allowed to fight for that. Very disappointing. Great race for Magnussen. Once again, the Haas make a habit of having one driver in no man's land in P6 or P7 behind the top 3 teams. More so than any other team, in my opinion. And you see the Magnussen or Grosjean, they fight. It's very rare to find both of them up there together, and that's what they need to do more of this season. Hulkenberg. It'll be really interesting to see the progression of him with Daniel Ricciardo and how they'll compete. So far, looking good for Hulkenberg. And if he can come out looking good against Daniel Ricciardo, then that's great for him and his future driver role prospects. Kimi Raikkonen, Stroll, Kvyat finished in the top 10. It was a very close battle at the end of the race. It was very good. At different tracks, we would have potentially seen a lot more overtaking. It's nice hearing Kimi Raikkonen in interviews. He seems much more happy and, I don't want to say more stress-free, and not being Ferrari, because obviously I don't know. But there's less media on him, and he can just do what he enjoys, which is racing and working with the team. P11, Gasly, very disappointing race, but it's only the first race. We hope that he becomes more consistent and can start finding some pace in the Red Bull, because there were quite a few errors in testing, and you can mark it, he's just started the Red Bull. There's a few errors, he's getting used to the car, and now we're in the first race,